Hello, welcome to our today's webinar. Thank you for joining us again in such a great number. Bonding and protecting indoors is our today's topic. And as always, we have some slides here on the screen where we discuss a few techniques and products, and then we move over to our application table where we demonstrate some products live. And yeah, if you have questions, please, as always, write into the chat. And Otello is behind the screen. He is managing the questions. Either he answers them directly or he puts them through to me and I can answer them live on the show. So let's start bonding and protecting indoors. What are we talking about? Basically, we talk about production of kitchen countertops, mitre bonding of kitchen countertops, also a little bit more exclusive materials and installations, yeah, like this big island, kitchen island with here a little bit of a very, let's say, difficult bonding because all the force of the mitre bonding is here on this edge. We will talk about something like that later. Of course, we want also protect our natural stone surfaces, and we will discuss two different protecting solutions. When it comes to natural stone, of course, the bonding part is also includes bonding of ceramics and quartz composite, where the protection is not so important as these materials, are not so sensitive to staining for stainings. Yeah, indoor tables, the same. How we can protect those, or bathroom installations. This is the field where we are talking today. So kitchen countertops, bathroom installations, and furniture production. Yeah, also here, this is a ceramic wash basin. Of course, protection is not needed here, but we need bond that. And this looks like a 6mm ceramic, so we have to focus and be aware of a few things. And of course, also stairways are interior construction where our products come into the game. Especially you can imagine when this is, let's say, a thin ceramic, which is included or installed over wooden stairs or a metal frame or something. So there is a lot of tension there. There's a lot of force there, and we have to have a few things in mind when it comes to bonding of those. Good. So let's start about the bonding part. So we have a lot of glues, adhesive in our product range, which could be, let's say, used for this type of installations, but we want to shrink it down to a few products. So we will highlight only two today, or three actually. We separate always indoor from outdoor bonding. Of course, epoxy resins and polyurethanes can be used also interior, but things like frost door stability, UV stability is not always so necessary for indoor application. So today we will talk only about the indoor glues, which will be polyesters and epoxyacrylates in our range. And as polyesters are there for a longer time and getting more and more substituted by the, let's say, more superior epoxyacrylates, we will today focus on our epoxyacrylates. Good. So what are the advantages of epoxyacrylates or indoor adhesives in general? Usually we have hardener-based adhesive, which means it's easy to mix. We have a hardener paste. We put 1 to 3% hardener into the glue. They are easy mixing, fast curing, which is important. And in our product range, this would be our color bonds and platinum adhesives. And as I said, it's a quick application. So they have a fast bonding time, a fast curing time, which is important to make room for on your workshop for new objects, or when you are on the construction site in a house. So you don't waste too much time for waiting for the curing. So don't have to go for the next day, especially epoxies. they usually need 24 hours for curing. And interior, you don't need this frost store stability, so you can work with fast systems, and that makes it very, very easy and fast, especially when you are working on the site. So you can install, and usually after 1 hour, you can grind and polish and see the results and proceed. So these are the advantages of this epoxy acrylates. Very fast, very light in color, the glues. So it makes it easy to dye them, to change the color. With the platinum, we have all the different color spectrum pastes, and when it comes to the color bond, they are pre-mixed. So before we go too deep to the product itself, we will talk a little bit about the requirements. I think some viewers who are following us regularly, they know some of the slides, but it is always important because the adhesives itself, they have a lot of capabilities. They have very strong bonding. They have rock hard adhesions, but they need a few parameters for doing that. And this is the first thing is the surface you want to bond must be clean. Yeah. So here, this is some oily part or some dirt on the mitre bonding. We have to remove that. We need clean surfaces. Then all of these glues need roughened surfaces. So on natural stone, usually when you cut a natural stone, you have the roughness is usually okay. When it comes to this very hard ceramics, porcelain, when you cut them with these special ceramic plates, then you get sometimes a bonding area which looks like that. So very smooth, very, very, nearly polished already. So this you have to roughen manually after. We need a better adhesion for that, for a proper bonding. Then, of course, the surface which we glue must be dry. Yeah, for ceramics, that is usually not a problem. I cut a ceramics, I take a tissue, I take a cotton tissue and wipe it, wipe the water off, and it's dry because ceramics or quartz composite, they don't absorb much. But on natural stone, especially when you have a little bit more of absorbent materials, they keep the humidity when you just bring them off the bridge cutter, for example. So please make sure they are dry. Of course, this is now a surface drying for sealing, for penetrating sealer application. But similar, you have to check for your bonding area. Yeah, dry the bonding area, you will have much better adhesion and a longer bonded parts and a longer life of the bonded parts. And what is also important is the components should be tension free. Yeah, what does that mean? Sometimes when natural stones, but even also ceramics, when they become bigger sizes, like 1.20 meters, 160 or larger, and you cut mitre there. So you cut the stone and want to bond the mitre, and then sometimes you see that the slabs, they have bent a little bit. Yeah. And now when you adjust the mitre before gluing, then you see sometimes here it fits very well. You have a very thin joint, but in the middle you have a wide joint because the tiles were a little bit bent. Or it can be other way around, yeah, that you have in the middle a very thin joint, and the edges and the corners you have a little bit a wider gap. And please don't try to push that together. I can show it here in the video. It looks not much, yeah, but here it's like 2-3 millimeters. But when you press it together, and sometimes, yeah, customers try to glue these mitres together under tension. So they apply the glue, they want a thin line, and then they put the clamps there and press it together. So what you have done then, you glued it under tension, and there's always tension in this tile. And later on, it can make problems, especially when it's like, maybe in this case, could be like a stairway. And then there's some punctional pressure because someone is running up and down the stairs, yeah, with 80, 90 kilos. And you have glued it already under tension. Then you bring punctional force on some parts because you run up and down the stairs. And then it can cause a breakage. So make sure that you don't glue your mitre under tension. Yeah, if you if you want to glue it very thin, then and you cannot avoid it because you want to have a thin line. Yeah, I know optical wise, it looks better, of course, when the joint is very small. But then if you do it that way, then you have to reinforce the backside. You have to turn it around. You have to put a mitre, a metal ankle frame underneath and reinforce this mitre bonding. Or better would be not press it together and then accept a little bit a bigger joint. But for that we have good colors. We have 52 different colors, and I think you can choose a good color which makes it also optical a good solution. So have that in mind. Don't force the pieces together, especially when it's large pieces, when it comes to stairways or swimming pool surroundings, for example. We have seen that a lot. The tiles get bigger, the people press it together, they join it with clamps, and then after some times there's tension, there's forces, someone is jumping on it, or there's frost door changes when it comes to outside. It can cause some breakages because the glues they stick pretty well. Yeah, and then you get chips off from the ceramic sometimes. So yeah, just have that in mind. Try to glue as tension-free as possible. So I've talked a lot, Otello. I look at your screen. Do you have any questions already?
Hello, everyone. For now, no questions, but I'm quite sure there will be some soon.
Okay, good. I will install some mistakes so you can help me and point them out. So maybe then questions come up. No, just kidding. So, okay. So this is the requirements for the bonding. And now we come to our color bond, to the first product we want to highlight today. I think most of you know our color bond. We have it for many, many years. But what is new since the beginning of the year, or let's say springtime of the year, we have this Maxi Power version. So actually there's only this version available anymore. Article number stays the same. Color stays the same. Working time, curing time, everything stays the same. But we have increased the bonding power. Yeah. Especially for, let's say, for thin ceramics, thin porcelain, 6 millimeter porcelain, and you know how they cut it. It's very smooth. You need extra bonding power. The mitre joints and the tiles become always bigger, so there's more tension there. So we increased with the Maxi Power version the bonding power on ceramic by 100%. So it was already very high, and now we doubled the adhesion. So it's a very strong product now. Also on limestone and marble, we increased the bonding power over 60% more than the previous version. Granites, always great bonding power. We have always breakages in the material, in the stone material, so stronger than the stone, the glue already. But on ceramics, as they become thinner, and yeah, limestones and marble, because they are soft materials, we wanted to make sure that everything is staying in place there. So we increased here the bonding power. Yeah, I think we started in the springtime with all the 52 colors during production. So there will be still some previous versions in the market. It's okay. Yeah, I think by end of the years, all our distributors, all our warehouses will have the new Maxi Power versions in all 52 different colors. Okay, and yeah, this was the old cartridge. Yeah, you can see it looks like that. And now when you see this Maxi Power, you know you have the stronger version. Okay, and to show you the bonding power of this new Maxi Power color bond version, we did a pull-out test. Yeah, this works the following. We have this metal pins here. We glue them with the color bond on a ceramic tile, and then we use this pull-out machine to rip off this this metal part and check at what force it rips out of the ceramic. And this is what we do here. Here we use our transparent color bond. We place the pin here, and then we wait like 20, 30 minutes for the curing time. And now you see we work with this pull-out machine. And bang, the ceramic breaks. Yeah, we did not rip out the pin. The glue was still sticking, so it was stronger than the ceramic. The ceramic breaks at 5 Newton, but the glue still sticks. So the glue is stronger than the ceramic now. This is what we want. So if it would be a weaker glue, just the metal part would just come off the ceramic, but here it is stronger than the ceramic itself. So it sticks better to the ceramic and to the metal and completely destroys the ceramic. So this shows really this high bonding power of this new color bond version. And I think if there are no questions, Otello, we move over to our desk and we'll demonstrate a little bit about this product.
There's a little question.
A little question. I take also
a little
big
one,
questions.
yes. Good, okay. When color bond is warm or applied thick, I have seen it develop a yellow or pink shade of unwanted color. How do I avoid this?
Again, I did not get it. There was some delay there.
When color bond is warm or applied thick, I have seen develop a yellow or pink shade of unwanted color. How do I avoid this?
Okay. This probably happened only with a transparent or white color, I think. This is, yeah, to avoid it is to make a thin line. Yeah, when you use, this is an exothermic reaction. Yeah, it's a polyaddition, a polymerization product. So when you use a lot of glue on one area and let it cure, it becomes hot, of course, and heat always can change something in the glue. So usually when you use, like I do it now in this mitre bonding here, when you apply the right amount and only have a little bit of a extra glue, there will be no heat and there will be no extra heat which will change the color. So this only happens when there's really a lot of glue used and when it becomes really extra hot. And this usually in normal wear and tear does not appear. So the customer should try to work with a minimum quantity and don't apply too much on the mitre. Okay, thumbs up, that answered it, I hope. Okay, good. So what we have here, we have the new versions, Maxi Power with the red Maxi. We have here Jura limestone because we increased the bonding power as well here. And this time we usually work only with 6 millimeter and maybe 2 centimeter or 12 millimeter tiles. Today we decided we make a bigger mitre bonding because also this is done on a regular base. And just to show you another small hint, what you can do. Usually our cartridges are very sufficient and we have a thin nozzle here when you can see that. Yeah, a very thin nozzle. So usually we try to use as little glue as needed because you don't need much glue for proper mitre bonding. But when you have like a 3 centimeter tile, you need a little bit more. And for that reason, we have on this on the nozzle, we have different rings which you can cut off to make the nozzle output a little bit bigger. And this is what we are doing now. I just cut the first 2 rings, so I have a little bit of a bigger output there. Okay, so first what I have to do is I have to check my mitre. Yeah, does it fit? Do I have, let's say, a 90 degree angle? And why is that important? Because we always see sometimes customers, they start to bond, then they adjust, and then they realize, I don't have 90 degree. They open and close it and open and close it with already glue inside. And I will show you in a bit what happens when you do that. We don't want to do that, yeah, just to make it clear. Don't open it when the glue is already inside. We want to close it one time and one time only. So please make sure all the adjustments are done before. And I know when you have a big countertop, it is a little bit of an effort, but do it before you insert the glue. Okay, so now in this case, it's good. The 90 degree is there. We take the cartridge, yeah. This is also a hint because we sometimes in the morning on our webinar, we got this question, can I leave the tip on? Of course, you can leave the tip on. You can still use the glue. Usually it comes with this tip, yeah, from the factory. But when you have done used one nozzle, let the nozzle there. When you're done with your work, it cures until I think 2/3 of the nozzle will cure, and then the rest stays liquid. But it works like a lid. And then 3 months later, when you take it out of the shelf again and use it, just change the nozzle and use it again. Okay, so first, again, always we say in every webinar, we have a 2-component product, and due storage, due transportation, maybe the cartridge was lying down and not standing upright. Maybe there's a disbalance of the 2 chambers of hardener and resin. So make sure before you put on a nozzle that out of both chambers, material is coming out, resin, beige color, and white hardener. So here the cartridge is ready now. We put on the nozzle. There's only one option how to fit it, and then close the, I don't know what's the name is in English. So close it. And also here, when you start mixing, throw the first few centimeters, then you're sure it's mixed proper. Now, what we see is sometimes, especially when it's like 3 centimeter material, sometimes we see people doing that, yeah. Lines like a snake, yeah, lines upside down on both sides and then pressing together. Don't do that, yeah. Do the right amount directly into the mitre on the bottom, and then you avoid bubbles, you avoid any problems, because when you have adjusted it in the beginning and you put the right amount glue on the bottom, it will completely press out in the end, and both sides will have enough glue there. So I will do that now. And when you have a big line, a big stone to bond like this 3 centimeter or even bigger, then cut off the tip. So you make sure you can make a good thick line on the bottom. Of course, on the 6 millimeter and 12 millimeter, it's not needed. But here it's needed. And now I close it and I don't open it again, yeah, because I adjusted it before. Now I close it, and now I see I put the right amount of glue. I have a thin line of glue there. I check my angle and I can adjust it. Now I can put my clamp there, or I put my stones or something. Yeah, I don't open and close it, yeah, because when I do that, this happens. I will show it to you under the camera. You see that? You see these lines? Yeah, now I think you can see this. This is air lines. Yeah, sucked in air. Yeah, you close the tiles, you open it because you did some readjustment, and you close it again. You have now some cavities, some lines of air. And later on, when you close it again and you see these lines, they go directly to the tip, to the bottom. Yeah, and then you close it 90 degree, you wait a half an hour, then you start grinding, finishing the mitre, and then you see small holes, air bubbles there, and then you have to redo it. Yeah, you have to drill them open a little bit. You have to put some extra glue there, wait again half an hour, 45 minutes, and start to grind again. So don't do that. Adjust before, put the right amount in the bottom, and squeeze together. Okay. Questions to that, Otello?
Yes, 3 questions. I will start with the first one. Yes, okay. The first one is Colorbond well suited also for quartzite mitre edges, like Taj Mahal?
Yes, of course. Yeah. For all natural stones and artificial stones, it's suited.
Okay, then we go to the next question. How do we choose the right color for the stone?
Okay, we have 3 options. 3 options? 2 options, 3 options, more or less. So one, we have a mobile application. I don't have my mobile here right now, but we have a mobile application. You can just download it. Akemi color chart app, I think is the name. And we have matched over 100 manufacturers of artificial materials like ceramics, quartz composites, solid surfaces, and for each manufacturer we have. Thank you, Otello. Hoppa. We have matched over 50 different colors. Maybe he can go on the overhead camera. Yeah, this is the application. Like this or turn around? This one?
No, the other
No,
way
so
around
yeah,
would be better.
yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, this is the application. Here you can choose quartz, natural stone, ceramics, and then you can check out all the manufacturers. And yeah, and we have matched most of the colors for them. Yeah, first choice, second choice, we always give you an option there. And then there's the article number of the product. So this would be one solution when you know your material. The same thing we have on our website. So this is the second option. You can also use it on your desktop PC. Yeah, the third option would be our color chart fan. This is the original colors printed there. Yeah, UV stable original colors printed there. This is if you don't know the stone or the material by name, or maybe we don't have it matched because you know these manufacturers, there are hundreds around the world, and they launch new lines and designs every now and then. And we try to keep on track there, but it's impossible to stay always yeah, exactly how you say, updated with all the different materials. So I think it's a good thing to have at least one of those color chart fans in your workshop. You just take it, place it on your stone, and check which color is the right matching for your material. Then we have here this color code, yeah, and therefore you choose your color bond. If you are someone who does not work too much with the cartridges, we have the same system as I said earlier with the platinum. So you have the can, you have the glue there, and we have this 52 colors, spectrum colors in a set complete, or you can order them separately. Yeah, these colors have the same number. You just add a few drops, you mix it, and you get the same perfect color for your bonding. Yeah, this tube has I think over 3 years shelf life. So also that is a good thing. You definitely will use it. So this would be the three options, getting the right color. Are there any more questions, Otello?
Yes, now we come to the third question. The promised third question is, how do I estimate the consumption of the color bond?
No. Okay, Otello, now you closed your phone so I could show it. So in the application, actually, we have a consumption calculator where you can add your mitre bonding. If you did a mitre bonding, or maybe you did a, how you say, a decor seam mitre edge, you put in your slab thickness and then how many meters or feet you want to glue. So it looks like this way around, other way around. So yeah, this is how it looks. This is on our application. Yeah, we have home, and here's the consumption calculator. Then you come to that slide, and then you can put in slab thickness. I don't know, 6 millimeter, for example. Yeah, apply. Then you say you make a mitre edge. How many centimeters? Let's make a big one. Let's make like 22 meters or something, and we apply, and then we say calculate. Yeah. And then we have the amount of glue needed. So this is 230 mil. Okay, we have 250 in one cartridge. So probably with one cartridge, 6 millimeter, I could say we have about 24 meters with one cartridge. This is quite good. So that's the consumption, how you can calculate. This is also on our website. This would be a tool to calculate the amount. Are there more questions, Otello? No more questions? Okay, we are done here. I did not forget anything. Yeah, exactly. No, I forget one thing because we prepared already. The glue is fast, 20 minutes, but we still don't want to wait so long. So we have here the bonded part, which we have done in the morning webinar. And you can see no bubbles. Yeah, a perfect mitre, little glue outside. And yeah, this is the advantage. Yeah, it filled all the small cracks and holes which are there. So you have a really nice result if you put the glue directly into the tip or the bottom of the mitre. Okay, So this was mitre bonding for kitchen countertops, for bathrooms, for stairs, yeah, for stairways. So as I said, for the stairways especially, check, don't glue them under tension. Always what we recommend, if the ceramic is very thin or very long, put some reinforcement on the back. Use some stainless steel or aluminium angle. Oh, what is the name? Yeah. Profile. Yeah, aluminium or stainless steel profile. Glue it with some elastic glue like our Akenova polyhybrid glue on the backside, so you have reinforced this mitre bonding just because of the bending, yeah, just to buffer that. Not that the glue is not holding, the glue holds, but then the ceramic breaks, yeah, we don't want that. So put on the backside aluminium profile when it is a very long mitre, especially for stairways, or when it is a very thin material. Okay, good. So this was now kitchen installations, but we have now a special topic. In some parts of the world, they install stone on the floors in a different way than maybe what we do here in Europe. Or in, yeah, let's see, at least in Northern Europe. So they want jointless flooring installations or paperless or paper joints or something like that, or zero joints. There are different names for that installation technique. And this is our next topic, jointless floor installations. Just to give you some new ideas. You can see here this room. Yeah, this is not some concrete, or this is not some screed or some laminate or something. This is natural stone installed over the whole villa, no joint, no gap, jointless installed, and for that you need a special product. And this is called Archipox 5010. I think most of you know that product, but it has special capabilities. Our Archipox 5010, by its color, it's this unique milky white transparent color which adapts to most of the white and light beige marbles and limestone. Plus, it has a very long working time, which you need in installations like that. Yeah, before we were talked about fast mitre bonding and bathroom installations. I want fast curing systems, but here I need time for the setting or for the adjustment, and I need a long working time, 25 minutes. And when it's cured, you can polish it in the same gloss as the stone. So that makes these joints invisible. And this is a big advantage of this Archipox 5010. And how does that look? Here you can see a villa with a big wall. It looks like a massive, massive stone wall installed. But it's not one piece. It's actually different tiles or slabs bonded together, but bonded jointless together. When we come very close, you can see here that the joint nearly invisible. And when you move away after, let's say, 1 meter, a few feet away, it becomes invisible already. And it looks like this jointless big marble installations. But on the wall, it's one thing, and the other thing is on the flooring. And here you can see a combination, jointless floor, jointless wall, all done with the Archipox 5010 or this hotel lobby. In that case, no joints. Of course, you can do a lot of designs with the different marbles and limestones. But a very unique installation is the white stone installation. So all the white marbles, Tassos. In this case, this is Vietnam white. It's like Tassos, but a little bit bigger crystals inside. So this Archipox 5010 will adapt perfectly to this material. And you can see this tile is made out of 4 pieces, but you cannot tell where the joint is. This is 4 pieces, 1 tile. And now when we freeze the picture, you can see here, there's 1 edge, there's 1 joint, and there's 1 joint. So this is piece number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then after curing, it's perfectly polished, which seems to be good, workable in a small tile, but you can do that as well in a floor size standards. And how that looks, we come to that. Yeah, you can see here this big living room, or not living room, bedroom. The marble, it looks like one big tile, but it's actually several tiles glued together. And how we do it comes in that video. You see Archibox 50110. It's a two-component epoxy system. You can see here this white, creamish, nice color. Yeah, 2 parts A, 1 part B is needed. So we take the 2 parts of A. We mix a little bit color if needed. Yeah, here you have all the time. You can mix the color and adapt the color with the A component. Check if it matches to the stone. And now we add the B component. And as you see, the B component looks exactly like the A. So the color you have chosen before does not change when you add the B component. So you have the perfect color. You have a perfect tile. You can see already installed the tiles in the tile adhesive. And then one slab or tile by each other is installed and pressed together as close as possible. Extra material is removed and then it is covered. Here the next part is installed. And then it is covered overnight. That during curing process, no dirt, no dust goes in, and this colors the joint. After 24 hours, you can grind the surface. Yeah, what we have realized is when you wait a few more days, like 5 days, the gloss of the joint becomes even better, the hardness of the Archibox, and you get really this invisible joint, and it adapts perfectly to the marble surface. And then you have this really flawless marble installations, no joints. You cannot tell where does one tile end and another tile starts. Here we tried to show you the joint. This is actually that there is a joint by video, but it was very difficult. We really have to lay down on the ground and hold the camera like 10, 15 centimeters above the joint. Here now you can see the joint is coming. It's so close, the camera is not really just adjusting right. Then you move up, and after you are half meter away of the floor, you don't see the joint anymore. So this is the jointless floor installations, especially with white marbles and our Archibox 5010. Are there questions to that?
No questions, Johannes.
Not yet any question. If there come after some time, just write us. We give you all the information how you can do that, how you can do this installation with the Archibox 5010. Okay, so what are the advantages of this rigid bonding systems like ColorBond, Platinum, or Archibox? They have excellent polishing capabilities, which we need on the flooring, which we need on the mitres when we have polished tiles to get like invisible or try to get a mostly invisible joint. We can create very, very thin joints and lines on the floor, but also on this mitre installations. Yeah, 1 millimeter, half millimeter, even smaller, it's possible if the cut is good. And we have extremely high mechanical properties with this rigid bonding system, if it is Archibox or if it is the ColorBond. Yeah, in this case, a swimming pool made out of only 4 big granite blocks was just glued together with Archibox 2030. So these are the big advantages of these rigid bonding systems, but they have also limits, and then these limits are expansion effects, usually when you have different materials bonded together, especially metal and ceramic or metal and stone or aluminium honeycombs especially. Yeah, then you have movements, you have expansions by heat, and this could cause some cracks in the stone or in the ceramic. So rigid bonding systems, when it comes to installations with different materials, we should look for different bonding properties. Yeah, also like here, this is a steel stairway frame, and we installed some marbles there. So as you see, it looks very massive, but still it's metal, it's a stair. You run up and down, you have some vibrations, you have maybe some slight bending. And then if you bonded that rigid with an rigid adhesive, then maybe the tile delaminates or it cracks. Yeah. So for that reason, we need elastic bonding systems. And what are the disadvantages of the rigid systems? Are the advantages of the elastic systems? So compensation of stresses, yeah, thermal expansions, vibrations, bendings. This can be buffered by these elastic systems. Also, elastic bonding system have advantages regarding the surface. Yeah, when you remember in the beginning of the webinar, I was telling you that the bonding parts always have to be rough. For these elastic systems, that's not necessary. Here you can glue a bond also on smooth or even polished surfaces directly, like this stainless steel um, wash basin, or in this case, yeah, on a polished ceramic, some installations of some hooks. You can see here the glues, yeah, where you can directly glue with some elastic polyhybrid adhesives. Yeah, and depending on the installation, it is also possible to partially remove or dismantle the installation after some time. Yeah, you need a blade or a very thin diamond wire to cut through this adhesive, and then you could dismantle it again if the construction makes it possible. Yeah, and when we talk about elastic bonding, I think you know about what product range I'm talking. It's our Akemi series. We have 4 different products with different colors and different capabilities. Today I will talk only about 2 of them. One is the Rocket and one is the Clear 300. What makes this Akemi series so special? First, they are fully natural stone approved. So they are developed for natural stone and then adapted to all the other materials, because a lot of this hybrid, polyhybrid, and how you call them, adhesives, some of them claim to be for natural stone suitable, but in the end they cause some bleedings, they cause some discolorations, because then you have like a mark or written some in very small letters somewhere, and please use some primers before you use the adhesive, because then it could get some bleeding. So the Akemi series, 100% natural stone approved, and still extremely high bonding powers on all the different materials. And what makes it unique for all the products, they have high instant bonding power. Yeah, we call it high tech. So when it comes to the Akemi 200, it has 400 kilo. I'm not sure if you can see that. 450 kilo actually per square meter instant tech. That means you can glue a slab of 450 kilo on the wall and it will not come down directly. Yeah, it will stick directly. Of course, it's not cured yet. Don't confuse that. It's not cured yet. You can still move it, and by force you can still dismantle it, but it has the tag already. So you don't need all the clamps and all tapes and stuff for installation. It makes it very easy for installation works, actually. And curing comes then overnight, 24 hours, then it cures fully, and then it does not move anymore. Just to show you, because the Akemi Rocket is our most, let's say, famous product of this range, what it is capable of and what it is mainly used for is the installation of this stainless steel things. Yeah, of course, you saw we degreased it with some alcoholic cleaner first. Now you press it to the countertop, stick the zinc basin. It sticks already. Yeah, after 30 seconds, we press it there, and you have already this high tech. Now we try to demonstrate that it's already quite strong. We place some 2 10-kilo steel blocks there. After 1 minute, you see the timing here, and it already sticks. Yeah, it's not cured, but it sticks already with this high tech. And this makes it very easy for all this installation works because you don't need the clamps. You are very flexible on the construction side. You go there, you install your things, your countertops, your mirrors on the wall, and you can move. You don't have to come there next day and remove some tapes or some clamps, etc. So this makes the life for the installer very, very easy. Now this was now a colored version, the Rocket 200. We have it in, I think, in 3 colors: black, white, and gray. We have also a beige version on the elastic Akinova, but we will talk today about the Clear 300 because I think we have not yet talked about the product in a webinar. It's also the latest version of our Akinova range. It's really water clear, crystal clear. It is extremely transparent. It has still, for a transparent product, a very high bonding power of 4.5 Newton per square millimeter. Still a good high tech, yeah, 80 kilos, not the 400 kilos like the Rocket, but still 80 for a transparent product. This is very, very good. And it has elasticity of approximately 450%. 450% with 4.5 Newton bonding power. Crystal clear. This is a unique product. Yeah, you will not find something similar. And you can see that here on the left side on this. This is a video. I will now show you this video. We look actually through the glue here. Yeah, this is the glue we are looking through because we bonded 2 glass pieces together with the Clear 300. And you can look just right through it. That's how clear it is. And I think enough talking, a little bit more showing. Or are there questions already, Utello?
No questions for now.
Good. This camera was faster than me. So here we have our Akinova Clear 300. 2 already used one. I don't know which one I used today. This one. Yeah, what we do, I will show you the clearness as well. And here the same applies like the color bond. If the tip is there, just leave it there. It will cure a few centimeters inside, and then you will close it. When you want to reuse it, just remove the tip and place a new one on top of it. Also here, you can cut it a little bit if you need a bigger output. Then you can cut the opening accordingly. So we will have today some white marble, some glass to bond. First, I will show you the clearness or the transparency of the product. Yeah, I will do a little bit of a, how you say, bubble there. And I will do a line so you can see how clear the product actually is. It's really transparent, crystal clear. I try to hold it up that you can see. Yeah. See, I can actually look right through this bubble. It's really, really transparent, really, really smooth to work. Now I will glue the glass there. Don't get confused. Yeah, this is a little bit of bluish tinted glass. You can see that. Yeah, here in the camera. But still, I will do a line here, a small line, and see and show you that it's also very smooth to press and to work with.
Johannes, there's a question. What's the shelf life of the product?
The shelf life of this product is 18 months, so 1.5 years, which is, I think, also very, very good for some of this one component polyhybrid adhesives. And you can see I press it to 0 nearly. Yeah, it already sticks. The glass is there, which makes it very, very easy to work with. Yeah, so 18 months. I think most of the products on the market are maybe maximum 12 months or so. So this is 18 months. Good. I told you about high-tech, instant tech, and that it's 80 kilo only. Yeah, but only means it's also still a quite strong tech. I will show it to you how good that still is. Also here on the colored stone, you can see how nice the transparent Akinova is. Is sitting on the stone. Always work in lines when it comes to bigger area bonding, because the product needs air humidity to cure. So when you come to full flat bonding like this, always work in lines that a little bit of air can circulate. Yeah. I press it together and I can directly lift it. So there is still some good tech there. I can add another stone. So 80 kilos is still a good amount. So it's ideal for all the installation works as well. But it is additionally also transparent. Okay, are there any questions to the Akinova? Clear? Or
One question is there, can I use it also for outdoor use, or is this just an indoor glue?
No. Fully, all the Akinovas are fully outdoor suitable. Please use them outdoors. No more questions? Okay, then we come to our next topic. We have bonded kitchen countertop. We have done flawless, jointless floor installations. Now we need to protect our natural stones. And today we will talk about two different techniques. One is sealers, penetrating sealers or impregnators. And the other one is coating, which I shall show you later. What we have done here, we have here a white Tassos marble, and on the left side we applied our pearl impregnator, which is a high potential oil, grease, stain, water, dirt repellent impregnator. And we will drop here a few stain building agents like water, oil, coffee, coke, and the same on the untreated surface. And then we will observe it for a few hours. So there will be a time lapse and you can see what will happen. Here we applied it and now the time is running over several hours, and you can see here on the left side how the drop stays there from the first installation, from the first application, and on the right side it penetrates inside. Yeah, and left side, now we remove it just with a tissue, and you can see the protection is one thing of a sealer, but the removal of stains is another. It's very easy to remove the stainings. Yeah, even the oil, we just wiped it off with a damp tissue, and on the right side you can see the oil is penetrated deep, the coffee, the coke deep inside the stone. Now I have to use all the strong stain remover to remove it, if I can remove it completely. That's the reason a good impregnation, a good penetrating sealer is always recommended on natural stone, because we have a natural product. Natural stone has pores, has capillaries. We need to protect it. And pearl, which we have applied here, is a special one, is a very high quality impregnator. It's full with active ingredient. So we recommend it perfectly or especially suitable for light colored and white stones. Why there? Because as you saw in the video, coffee and dark stainings are more visible on white stones than on dark ones. But of course, the pearl impregnator you can use on any stone. Yeah, if it is like a light colored or a dark colored, if it's a granite or if it's a quartzite, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the pearl can be applied on all natural stones, and it is quite sufficient. It covers about 35 square meter with 1 liter. It is of course food safe tested, which is important in kitchen areas or dining areas. And we don't want to go too deep in the application of sealers, but also 3 things I want to highlight. Of course, the stone must be absolutely dry when you apply a sealer. Yeah, it must be dry, especially when it comes to quartzites, for example. They take a long time, the humidity, the water through the bridge cutter or water jet. And when you look at the stones, they suck the water and they don't, how you say, let it go so easily. So sometimes you have to dry it for several days or weeks even to get rid of the water, but make sure you've done that before you apply penetrating sealer. So stone must be dry, then apply with a good tool. Yeah, I see sometimes people taking this small tissues or some small paint brushes or something like this for big areas. No, use mops, use big sponges, use big application tools for applying sealers. The bigger the surface, the bigger the tool should be, and apply it in a good amount. The whole surface should be wet. Leave it there for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then remove the excess. This is important on the dense materials, on the dense stones like Nero Assoluto or some stones like that. They absorb not much sealer. So it stays more or less on the surface areas or only a few microns inside. So remove the excess. Yeah, proper. Take a cotton cloth or a mop or something and remove the excess of the sealer after half an hour. Buff it really, polish it, and then you're sure there's no extra leftovers, which could leave a sticky appearance. Yeah, don't do that. Remove it on time. Wait a few hours. When it comes to pearl, better always wait 24 hours before you tell the customer you can use their countertop. Okay, so sealers are very good for all the different materials. They don't change the surface appearance. So a polished stone stays polished, a rough stone stays rough, a flamed one, a brushed one stays the same. But when it comes to marbles on limestones and when it comes to acidic liquids, also the best penetrating sealer comes to a limit, which cannot prevent from an acid attack. Yeah, that means impregnators, penetrating sealers, they sit in the surface. Yeah, they penetrate into the stone. Let's imagine this red one are the impregnators, and the acidic liquids sit on the top. Yeah, they don't penetrate, but they still have contact with the marble, and then they can get an acid attack. So they remove the gloss, the polish of the stone, and this is not a stain. This is a surface impact. This is loss in gloss, and the stone is ruined. So what you have to do, you have to prevent this liquid to touch the stone, and the only thing you can do is to use a protective coating, and our protective coating is called Acid Protect. It's a special UV curing protective coating. So it is burned with a strong UV lamp into the marble, but it stays also on the surface as a coating. This makes it so durable and so strong. It is highly scratch resistant. Of course, we will not change a marble into a granite, yeah, or a quartzite. That's not possible. But we can maintain the same scratch resistant as the marble has before with this coating. And it's usually a one-time application, and then you will never have a problem with this countertop or table anymore. We have two versions, a brush version and a spray version. And then I said it is cured with a UV lamp. Yeah, this is this UV lamp, and it cures it in 1 or 2 minutes a square meter. So it's very fast. When you put the light on it, it's cured immediately, and you can directly use it. Are there already questions, Otello, or I move on?
Yes, one viewer is asking, how often do I have to repeat this treatment? I guess it's about the impregnators.
For the impregnators or for the Acid Protect?
For the impregnators, now it's written, yes.
For the impregnators. So impregnators, okay, usually for the impregnators, like the pearl, if it's done in a proper way, like I said, enough material, 20, 30 minutes applied, remove the excess. When it is a good stone material, and it's a normal kitchen with normal wear and tear, usually for the next 5 to 10 years, you should have no issue. Besides, it is a very heavily used kitchen where you always fry with a lot of hot oil and so maybe then you have to reapply it after some time. But usually as a penetrating sealer, on a good material like a granite or a quartzite or something, you will have only a one-time application for many years. Yeah, of course there are exclusions, but usually this is what is done. Now back to the acid protect. This is also only this is a one-time application. And this UV lamp, as I said, cures the product directly. And how it is done, I will show you in this video. We start with a honed finish, yeah, C220, a rough finished marble. We clean it. It's an alcoholic cleaner. And now we apply the acid protect. We pour it on the surface, and then we spread it by a spatula or by a paintbrush. This is the brush version. Yeah, you can see here how with a spatula, with a tea spatula, very fine one, can use a paintbrush. Yeah, you can see now it's still not leveled. The Akemi is not clear, or you can spray it. Yeah, this is the faster application actually. And now you can check when the Akemi gets clear, it's self-leveling after half an hour, 30 minutes, it's self-leveled, and then we cure it. And then we cure it instantly with 1 or 2 minutes. And then the surface is perfectly hard and polished, yeah, which was before a C220 grid, now comes out as a polished finish directly. And yeah, to check what it's capable of, we have done a second video. We did a performance test on a coated Nero-Marquina table and a standard polished Nero-Marquina cable. We have done the typical acidic liquids like lemon and lime and some red wine, and we placed some coffee there, so it's more like a milk coffee in this case. And to put it up a notch, we did actually some pure acid there, and you can see directly what's happening on the untreated stone. It's foaming, it's making noises. You hear the acid working, and then we leave it again for several hours on the surface just to prove what the acid protect is capable of. And now we remove the stainings. You see on the left side where the untreated stone, it becomes this typical white acid marks, edge marks. The same with the red wine. And to get these edge marks on a untreated stone, you don't need hours. Yeah, this happens after 5 to 10 minutes. We just let it there for many hours because we want to show how strong the acid protect is. And here, even this pure acid, nothing is on the surface, no surface change. And here you can see how the tissue becomes even black because the acid dissolves the black stone, and some of the black stone particles are in the tissue now. So this are very strong acid attacks, and they will happen instantly in your kitchen countertop when you cook, when you have a party, you spill some red wine, you have some salad dressing with some vinegar or so. You leave it there for a few minutes and you will have your stainings. Yeah, I have these tiles here, which we have done into the video. So this is are the tiles of the video, and you can see here the coated one, and you see nothing. Yeah, here we have done the performance test, and it is flawless, high gloss polish. I just try to catch it with the cameras. Yeah, you can see here how the lights are reflecting. So a perfect surface finish, and in comparison, the normal polished stone, and you can see here where the gloss is lost. Yeah, it's actually rough. Yeah, I will lose some of my fingernails here when I grind. And what is very impressive, you can see here the stains from the lime and from the lemon. You can see the structure of the lemon, which etched inside the surface. Yeah, this happens very fast. And to avoid that, we have a solution. It's called Acid Protect. If you want high gloss finish, this is the result directly. High gloss finish. We always start with the C220 grid. We apply it, we cure it, it becomes a glossy finish. In some areas, we have also the design elements where we want matte finish. So now we can treat on that table, and there are special, let's say, honing sponges which make this surface a matte finish, very easy. So this is also possible if the design requires it. Good. Are there questions to the Acid Protect, Otello?
2 questions. The first question is, so the Acid Protect is just as hard or scratch resistant as the marble itself, even in a high polish finish?
Yes.
Okay, that was the first question. And the second question is, well, I don't have an Acid Protect right now. What happens with the acid stains? How can I remove them?
Yeah, difficult. There are, if there are like mild acid stains, like let's say from the lime, maybe we have a product called liquid polish. The liquid polish is a polishing fluid. You apply it with a special pad. You can remove this edge marks only locally. You will not harm the polish around. So this is a good solution, which works on mild acid stains. Something like that, where we apply the pure acid, you have to work mechanically first, yeah, with all the grinding papers and stuff. This is what you have to do because it's too deep, too rough. Yeah, but mild acid attacks, like with the lemon and lime, with the red wine, it's already a little bit deeper. You can try it with the liquid polish, yeah, to get rid of the staining or to repolish it locally only. Yeah, it's 1 milk and 1 pad. You don't need more. Yeah, it's only a 1-step application. You apply it here and you buff it, and then you get the gloss back without harming the gloss around. Of course, deep acid attacks like that, you have to work extra before. This could be a solution, but this is only a short-time solution because the next wine will come, yeah, and will leave a mark again. Okay, good. Thumbs up, Otello. Then I think we are on the end of our webinar. Let's check. We have bonded with our Maxi Power, the new stronger color bond, our mitre bondings. We have installed flawless jointless floor installations with our Archipox 5010. And we have done some transparent elastic bonding with our Akinova. And then we have protected our countertops with either our pearl impregnator for all the acid resistant materials, and where there is acid protection needed, I just demonstrated you the Acid Protect. So if there are no more questions, thank you for watching. We will have, of course, webinars 2026. We will announce them soon on our website, or just apply for our newsletter. And maybe some of you we will see in 2 weeks' time in the 2 exhibitions in Italy, in Verona, the Marmomag, or in the Chiasaie in Bologna, both in the same week, starting 22nd or 23rd of September until 26th of September. Yeah, the Akemi team is there. I hope to see some of you there. So thank you for watching, and yeah, see you next time or at the exhibitions.